If you go back in time just 2 years, I was a kid on Fiverr and I was competing against bums for underpaying Fiverr jobs. But then if we fast forward a couple of months, and now I'm on Twitter with a small account nonetheless and still competing for underpaying jobs. But then fast forward one last time and I completely dominated my niche, had more clients than I know what to do with, and landed video editing jobs that made me $10,000 per month and allowed me to pay off my family's debt. Which sounds inspirational and cool, but if you look on the other side for the people who were with me when I was on Fiverr, and the people on Twitter that I said were my competition, quote unquote, are still with small accounts, still competing for underpaying jobs, and they have not progressed one bit. Which is how 99% of video editors live. They just keep fighting over underpaying jobs and never actually make a change that helps them short and long term. And there's one thing that I credit all of my success, all the clients I worked with, all of the money that they've made from video editing to. This one thing separates all of the competitions that I had that never progressed to people like me who made 100x and 1000x amount of progress. Because online nowadays in 2025, there's no cap on progress. You don't need like years of experience. You don't need to wait for a raise. If you do everything right, if you click the right buttons on your keyboard, you're gonna make money instantly. Which makes for these huge discrepancies where kids from third world countries are able to make $10,000 per month. Meanwhile, normally you would have to go into thousands of debt, study for years, become a doctor just to be able to make the same amount of money that I made in my room. Because right now in 2025, freelancing is in such high demand and in such low supply because everyone is current, everyone is a bum, everyone is unemployed, and no one actually wants to make this one change to be able to progress way faster. And this one thing is especially true for editors because they're chronically online. They scroll Twitter, Instagram, and just by nature, a lot of them are complacent. I know this because I talk with so many editors and most of them have like part-time or full-time jobs, and literally everything makes sense that they should go all in video editing and actually make a change, but they never do it and they just like throw an excuse out and they just keep delaying every decision and they delay it for next week, next month, next year, and they never actually make a change and they never actually progress. Which leads us to my favorite Alex Hormozi quote of all time: you can make way faster progress by changing when you make decisions from end of month to end of day. Because fundamentally everything is laid out. Like you have the internet, you have ChatGPT, you have Twitter, and you have Premiere Pro or any other software to be able to deliver the videos. Everything is right in front of you. The only problem is that you're not using them correctly. Because when you have an online business or you're an online freelancer, this doesn't actually making you wait. You can make any change to your editing or your outreach or your portfolio or your Twitter. Everything you can make it right away. But what happens is that people just delay the decision for next week, next month, and they never actually make any change in their editing career. They just continue doing what they're doing over and over again, hoping for a new result. And I can tell you from all of the editors that actually are successful, the editors that you will not find on Discord, because they're working behind the scenes. They're not gonna talk about some unemployed shit on Discord. These editors make decisions way faster than you do. Whenever I work with an editor one-to-one, the problems are quite simple. We're gonna change this in the editing, we're gonna make one perfect piece of work, we're gonna change the portfolio, and we're gonna start doing looms and automated outreaches, lots of it, 1 week from now. And I write them like a list of things to do, and we just go through them, and they don't take any time to finish. Fundamentally, you need to first of all fix your conversion, so your branding, portfolio, editing. So whenever a client actually sees your profile or gets your DM, they actually have a higher chance of responding to it, especially high-paying clients. That's the first thing you need to do, and then you do as much volume with outreach as possible. And with all of the systems that are available in 2025, you're able to send so many outreaches that you literally find a job in 1-2 weeks that is paying you thousands of dollars per month. It's actually absurd how easy it is. Like if you know how to use Premiere Pro, like you're 80% there. And the only thing that is stopping you is a few decisions that you actually need to commit to be able to make a change. And the reason that video editors in specific take forever to make any decision is basically fear. They're afraid of being wrong and they never actually take action on anything. They're completely confused on where to go, so I want to talk about some mindsets or some decision frameworks that successful people use and that I just quite frankly copied from them to be able to make as fast of a progress as possible. The things that I think about the most is speed. Because if we look historically, what made so many people make a lot of money is basically not delaying decisions. They invested in Bitcoin when it was new. They started a business not knowing if it will work or not. All decisions overall will have a risk. But the thing with business and freelancing, and by the way I consider freelancing as a mini business that is super easy to scale, is that one time succeeding, one time getting a client will pay for every decision that you decided to make. Because you don't need to be right every time, you just need to be right one time and land a job for 5, 7, 8, 10k per month. And if we look at the decisions that you're avoiding, most of them don't actually have any downside. If you calculate the actual worst case scenario, and best case scenario, you will see that the best case scenario completely outweighs every worst case. But editors nonetheless are scared. They have an irrational fear of actually making any decision in any direction. By the way, I don't like talking about mindset at all in this channel. I'm not a mindset coach. I just tell you what has made me money and what has made other editors money. And lately, I have been talking to a lot of editors that have a lot of problems with their mindsets. They simply think too slowly. They don't realize the importance of time. They just spend time thinking about anything. And then months pass by and they're in the same exact scenario. Always delaying decisions and staying like afloat, never actually committed to anything. It's the reason that you still have a small Twitter account and you're still competing over underpaying clients. And yes, if you never take risks, you don't have any downside, but you also will never have any insane upside to pay for all of the downside. There are editors that are scared to spend some money, like 20 bucks, on a .com domain for their portfolio, which sounds absurd because that's the only thing that you have to show to the YouTubers. And they don't even want to spend $20 to be able to land one job that will pay for it like 10 times over. Most editors simply think too small and they take forever to make any decision. And by the way, I understand that people will hear all of this and they will still do nothing. Like that's your competition. These people who would listen to me yap for how many minutes we're going right now, and they will still make no changes and they will still continue doing what they're doing, expecting a different result. The people who want a couple of months from now to look back and be able to tell a story like the one I said in the beginning, where they made a drastic change super quickly because they took a risk. For all of the people who listen to my videos and never actually implement anything, summons that I love from Alex Emoji, if you watch summon but don't change your behavior, your actions, then you didn't learn anything. And these people watch all of these videos and they never learn anything, so this is basically entertainment for them. But all of the people who actually want to progress fast and make a change, I want you to listen up for this next part. There are only 48 hours left and 2 spots left to be a part of the first cohort of Tier 1 editors, which is a program where I take 16 editors using many systems that I've kept secret, like 500 automated outreaches a day, and overall making sure that it's impossible for them not to succeed by improving the editing of each one of them and remaking all of their portfolios to make sure it converts. So inside of these 90 days, we basically remake your Twitter portfolio, and then we send 500 automated outreaches a day, which results in 15,000 outreaches in 30 days. So if you want to actually take action and make a change in your editing career, click the link in the description to learn more and talk to me one-to-one. That way we can get you in the last 2 spots before it closes in 48 hours. And the reason that I'm closing it is that I want just 16 editors to work with one-to-one closely, and in the next 90 days make a huge transformation so that they will be able to show off in these videos. Because editing has never been easier. You just need to do 3 things. You need to improve your editing, which in this cohort of people we do that by having so many editing reviews that it's like a painting. That you make a basic drawing and then I tell you what to change, you change it again, and then I tell you what to do, and then you change it again, and we keep changing it until you have basically improved in 1 week. And you basically need 3 to 1 edits that are like super good that you're able to show off in your portfolio on Twitter, because people don't watch your entire portfolio, they only watch a few seconds, and we need to perfect these few seconds. After which you need a branding and portfolio that will put you in the best light. So something that is actually growing. It has the same colors as your banner, PFP, name, your portfolio has the same colors, and it all looks professional. Because no one wants to hire an editor that has like insane bright colors in their portfolio. Their portfolio looks crappy, there's like so many small problems with the colors, there's small gaps, and it all obviously looks like a template. And if you have these 2 things, if you have good editing and a good way to show it, the only last step is to actually show it, which again has never been easier with automated outreaches and looms, both of which get so crazy of results that I usually for the one-to-one clients, I turn them off within 1 to 2 weeks because they already found jobs and now they have to edit. But in these 1 to 2 weeks, we do so much volume of it that you land $1,000 jobs super quickly. And the reason that I'm not accepting any more one-to-one editors is because in the next 90 days, I want to make each one of the editors that join to completely dominate their niches. So the question is if you actually want to make a change, because if you think logically, worst case scenario, you land your highest paying client measured by monthly income in the next 90 days. And best case scenario, you will have the editing brand and editing job that you always dreamed of. You will have the clients that have millions of subscribers that treat you well, and you will make thousands of dollars per month, and you will be able to get rid of any financial problems you have right now. So I want you to think about it logically and to think about your progress in 2 different universes, when you took action or when you didn't take action, and think which one actually made you faster progress. After you do that, the decision becomes super clear, because the only thing that is actually stopping you from making money with freelancing is decisions. There are people who were in worse scenarios than you who made it work by just making the right decisions. So if you actually want to make a change and look back in 90 days and see the amount of progress you've made, link in the description, book a call, we're gonna talk one-to-one, and if you qualify, we're gonna set up all of the systems for you and we're gonna make you a shit ton of money. So go book a call right now and good luck.